Great. So this is Heal Yourself Africa, and basically what we are focusing on is helping Africans to understand that they are responsible for their health. We want to help Africans to understand and take full responsibility of their health, right? The body, like we all know, have the capacity to heal itself. It is what we do with the body that matters. And it's very important that we pay attention to some of this information we share. And today we're going to be talking about the heart. We're going to be talking about the heart. We said that the heart is likened to the engine of a luxury car. Now, there are various organs in the body that are very important, but the heart plays a vital role. The heart is responsible to pump blood to all the parts of your body. The blood pumps by your heart. You know, the nutrient it needs to get to the cells is the heart that does that function. All right. So it's important that we understand the place of the heart in everything we are doing. That is why we're talking about the heart today. Now, before we introduce the guest who is going to be anchoring this show tonight, it's important that we understand that some part of our body, which we don't see, plays a very vital role, more than the ones you can see. And most times, because people don't feel the symptom, you know, they are overstressing and overworking their heart. Now, some interesting fact about heart, which I sent out today. I said that the human heart beats 70 times per minute. That means every minute, the heart beats more than once. Every minute. So the heart is beating, constantly beating. All right. In a day, the heart beats up to 100,000 times. All right. In your lifetime, the heart is going to beat almost 2.5 billion times. Now think about it. That's an amazing, you know, it's amazing stats. So the heart is playing a vital role when it comes to human beings. And most of the cardiovascular diseases down the increase today is actually linked to the heart. Some researchers have been doing found out that some of the heart diseases just started recently. And we're going to be dealing with some of those fundamental issues today. So I want you to pay attention to what we're sharing here today. This is Heal Yourself Africa. The platform is that everyone pays attention to their lifestyle. Lifestyle is important. So have a YouTube page called Heal Yourself Africa. It is very encouraging if you will follow us on that platform. It's important that in as much as you are busy, that you pay attention to some of these things, because nobody retires from, and also lifestyle. Nobody can take the place of your lifestyle. You are the one responsible for your lifestyle. And that is why we are paying attention to these things. So today, we're going to be having Mr. Tony come on this call to do justice to you. So I'm going to hand over to Mrs. Raffles, who is going to be introducing Mr. Tony. Tell us more about him before we get on with the today. So when we go to the presentation, if you have any question, have someone that will hear this, please have all the information for you, and the ones who cannot provide for you, we make it. Let me be closing. We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. I hope you can hear me. Wow, it's so good to have all of you on the call today. And we promise that it's going to be a live transforming moment. It's going to be a moment that we're going to check our hearts, and we're going to take care of our hearts so our hearts can protect us with some of the information we'll be hearing today. So moving forward, I'm going to be inviting my senior colleague. In fact, he's like a grandmaster in nutrition, in cardiovascular education, and in so many aspects. So I wouldn't like to blow his horn so much because he's going to introduce himself also. But But I want you to bear in mind that you're going to be hearing from an expert, and he's also, the founder of Food Healed Me and other health bodies as well. All right. So Food Healed Me, Food Saved Me. He has his own health platform. He has his own health organization going for him, and I can tell you for free that he is the best when it comes to this. So with due honor, and it's a pleasure to have him on the call today. So I don't know if Mr. Tony is ready. Please, sir, could you come on the call? And please, let's have a welcoming ovation. Send chats to the chat room, welcoming him, giving him kisses, whatever you can do. Welcome. Thank you so much. Mr. Tony, over to you, sir.
Hello. Wow. This is powerful stuff. Thank you for inviting me. Hero, thank you for inviting me. Mrs. Lawson, yeah, thank you very much. I think it's a very. I think you might have to put some people on mute. So can you put some people on mute? Like, you don't have to put people on mute. Okay, are we good?
Yeah, good. Okay.
We're good. Okay, fantastic. I just want to give everyone a chance to hear what we have to say today. Sorry if you can't contribute straight away while we're here, but when I finish, I'm sure we're going to have some conversations, some questions, and some answers too. Yeah. So I think Hero, thank you again, and also Mrs. Lawson. I just wanted to say that myself, I'll probably introduce myself a little bit more on my slides that I'm going to show you today. I think one of the things that I would say is this is a very, very, very important topic. It's also close to my heart too. And I remember once upon a time when I was very young, I remember getting a call in university when I was doing, at that time, I was doing an engineering degree, believe it or not. And they sent me some sad news to say that my mum's not feeling well, or she's had a stroke. I thought, wow. I was only 19 at the time, and I remember driving all the ways from Birmingham to London at the time because I was studying at Birmingham University. And then when I got home, my mum was there, everyone was around her, and I just didn't recognize her in terms of the whole left side of her body was kind of like paralyzed. And I remember the doctor saying to us, we looked at my mum and said, okay, what's the next thing? What can we do next? And I remember the doctor saying to us, well, this is a very, very critical stroke, and there's not much you can do, but just nurse. And, one of the things that you find with life is like when somebody that you look up to when somebody you looks up to tells you that it's not possible, then obviously you've got to find an alternative. Yeah. So we decided to look for alternatives, and lo and behold, we found information on alternative things like nutrition, food, and all kinds of things. And we took my mum, we changed her diet. We also added a few things, and then we made sure she had exercise. And funny enough, at the end, after about a year, she recovered about 80% of her left-hand side. And thank God she's with us today. And that's like over 60 years ago. Yeah. But you see, one thing I say to a lot of people is you've got to take action whenever you have any symptoms. You've got to take action now. Yeah. Illness doesn't wait for you. And this is one of the things that I have to say to everyone in Nigeria is illness does not wait for you. it does not wait till you finish your project. It does not wait till you're ready. It has a way of dealing with you if you don't take action. And this particular illness, which is to do with a healthy heart, don't waste any time. If there are any symptoms, if there's any signs, just take action now. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people today that have had some symptoms or signs but didn't take action. And unfortunately, other complications happened. So that's really my short introduction into the topic. And then I think I'm going to now hand over to, I'm going to now go through my slides, but I just want to say a few words.
You pass the light.
Do you want to give me administration rights so that I can help you mute everybody? Yeah? Do you want me to give me administration rights so that I can help you?
I praised you in the morning.
I know what to do to get let me just see if I can get me. Can you give me administration rights, please, so that I can just mute some people? Mrs. Lawson?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can you give me administration rights? So just so that I can actually mute people on arrival. Because I think otherwise we're going to have this problem as we go through.
Go ahead. Yeah, I'll give you access now. You to share. Yes.
Not to share, to mute people, please.
Because some people are going to be joining. I want to be admitting them. That's why.
Yeah, but when you mute them, if you can take them off so that they can't unmute themselves, there's a tick box you need to take off. Yeah, so they can't unmute themselves. That's all.
Okay. Let me just make it.
Okay. It's just that I don't want anyone to disturb the people that are here for, as they come in. Okay, so I think that's my intro. Now I'm gonna bring my slide up. So hopefully you're gonna see my slide. So hopefully that should help. Bring it up. So if there are any questions, by the way, at the end of the presentation, I'm open to the questions. Okay, so can you see? Let me see. Let me just make sure you can see my slide. 1 second. Okay, good. Let's see. Okay, I still don't have sharing permission for the slides, just to let you know. I don't have. Oh gosh, so nice to see you. So nice to hear from you, Chef Jessica, the one and only chef that I know. Okay, so can you actually give me the share permission for the slide, please?
Okay,
got it. Okay, great. Thanks. Okay, so here we go. So hopefully you will see my slide. We're gonna have a good one here because there's some noise in the background. Let me just mute all. Okay, thank you for allowing me to do this. Okay, so and then I'm going to 1 second. I'm just going to allow certain people to unmute themselves. I don't think I can on this one. Sorry. Okay, so what I'm going to do, just forgive me. If you can put your hands up if you need me to unmute you, let me know. Okay, so I'm just going to hide my controls. Okay, so hopefully you will see my slide. Healthy heart. Yes, you need a healthy heart. And one of the first places where you need to start with a healthy heart is in your kitchen. Yeah. And any of you that have chefs, you need to make sure they know, just like Chef Jessica, Chef Rose, and all the chefs that I come in contact with in my role as a nutritionist. Make sure your chefs make sure that they have your health at the front, not at the back of the queue, at the front of the queue. So I'm going to go through a comprehensive guide here today for you all. This is like, for example, a healthy heart is essential for an overall well-being and longevity in life. So that's number one. I'm also going to, let me just quickly, I want to give Hero permission. I want to give Hero back the administration. Let me just give him back the administration so he can admit people. But meanwhile, at least I've unmuted you. Okay. Oh, I can't share. Here, I think my screen's just gone. Here, is there another on your thing? There should be something where you click on the screen, share screen, and you should be able to put multiple share. Just change it to multiple share. You don't have to give me administration rights. You just need to give me multiple share. I hope that works. Yeah.
I should go.
Go to screen, share screen. You should see a small button on share screen on the right of it, and then it should give you multiple screen share, which means that I can have screen share and you can still stay as administrator. Is that okay?
Yes, I'm on share now. I'll go to the box, right?
No. Don't go into share. Before you click on share, on the right-hand side of that share icon, there's a box that comes up, which should say multiple share. Can you see that at all?
No, I can't see it. It's not here.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
You can't see anything on the right-hand side of that where it says screen share? There should be a little pop-up that comes up. No? No?
Sure. What we have here is okay. Let me do the sharing so you can see if
Okay.
no, I can see. I can see.
Okay. So you're gonna have to give me administration rights. I'll have to allow them in then. Yeah. Okay. Because I can't share my screen at the moment.
Okay, I'm giving back the host. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that. Technology is in charge. Okay. So technology is taken over. You know, those of you that know about AI, I'm an expert in AI too. So I've actually used AI to benefit people's health. And you know, some in the hospitals and in many places in the West, they're using AI for the same thing too. But let's start again. A healthy heart, a comprehensive guide. This is what we're going through today. A healthy heart is essential for overall well-being and longevity. That's definitely true. So in this presentation, what I'm going to do is we're going to look through the importance of a healthy heart. Yeah. The factors that affect it, practical strategies to maintain a strong and resilient heart. Now we aim to empower you, particularly people in the African and Caribbean communities, to take proactive steps towards a healthy heart. So that's number one, and reduce the risk of heart-related diseases. Now, you probably don't know, in the African community, there is this problem with a healthy heart, and we need to now deal with the problem face on. Okay? Just an introduction to me. Some of you don't need an introduction, but let me just introduce myself. My name is Tony. I'm a certified nutritionist of Food Save Me Institute in America. But I'm not in America, I'm in the UK right now, and I spend a lot of time in Nigeria also. I have a business in Nigeria too. And I communicate with I have a lot of clients that are Nigerian and African and also Caribbean. Now, what we're doing in the Food for Life, Food Save Me program is we're trying to bridge the gap between nutrition science and public knowledge. And this is why we're doing this today. Everything we do is, we don't charge for it. So one thing I would advise you all to do is, if you like what you hear today, if you like what you see today, then what I'm going to advise you to do is please see a Salad Master presentation with the person that invited you on here. That's how we manage to get these things going with our sponsors. And also, you can also there's some other things you can also join too. Okay, just to give you an idea, if Food Save Me, if you look on the right-hand side, you'll see like nutrition classes that we have, like food addiction. Some people have food addiction issues, immune boosters and busters, revamp your kitchen, sleep better, stress less, and also African and American nutrition. So these are some of the classes we do. So just in case you're interested in those, let Hero know on that. And then in Nigeria, the biggest problem we have today is the low life expectancy. It's getting lower and lower. And you know, there's a famous saying that some people, when they're not ill, they say a lot of the times when they want to avoid talking about good health. And that is, something must kill a man. Yeah. Listen, don't kill yourself because something must kill a man. Okay? No. But you know, the same people, unfortunately, that say something must kill a man, where if they're suffering from these lifestyle diseases and they're told that they may end up in critical situation, then suddenly they don't talk about something must kill a man. So don't talk about something must kill a man when you're healthy. Say that when you're not healthy. Yeah. So that's what I would say. Me as a person, as a nutritionist, I don't appreciate people that say something must kill a man, especially when they're not ill. Yeah. So really, now look at what's killing men and women today. Diabetes is on the increase in Nigeria today. One person is diagnosed with diabetes every 2 minutes. High blood pressure is on the increase in Nigeria today. High blood pressure puts 1 in 4 Nigerians at risk. And the worst thing about high blood pressure is a lot of people are not even aware they have high blood pressure, 9 out of 10 people. So that means that they can slump just like that. Here today, gone tomorrow. It's terrible, isn't it? So that's what we need to do. We need to educate ourselves. Cancer, 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 cancer. The challenge I have with a lot of people that have cancer is they don't say it until it's too late. Yeah. So really, cancer kills 10 Nigerians every hour. Yeah. Obesity, which is also linked to heart disease and healthy heart. 1 in 4 Nigerians are obese, and 1 in 10 children in Nigeria are obese by the age of 4. So these are some of the contributing factors to low life expectancy. So what are we going to do about it? Are we going to say something must kill a man? Or are we going to be responsible? Are we going to be responsible? Yeah. Now, I am just moving on. Now, you see, we have 2 paradigms, and we've got to be careful. We have, if you look at this diagram here, we have the premature death on the left-hand side, which is the place where somebody will say something must kill a man. Yeah. But we're not talking about that anymore. I won't say that anymore because something should not kill a man. It should be, we should go naturally. Yeah. So premature death is where we're having big problems in the African community, in the Nigerian community, in the African American community. You know, in America, they're saying Black Africans are dying from about 60 to 70% of people are dying from diseases that are preventable or reversible. Terrible, isn't it? Can you imagine? 60 to 70% of people. I can't give you the stats for Africa because we don't keep stats well. Yeah. So if you look at this is the illness wellness continuum. Now, premature death is on the left-hand side. That is why you're on this call today, because we don't want to go too soon. Gone too soon. You heard that? Gone too soon. No, we don't want to go too soon. We want to go on time. Okay. So, and then you see on the right-hand side, high level of wellness. That's where we want to be, high level of wellness. Now, if you look in the middle, you'll see a central point, which is where most people are. That means that they're just okay, no discernible illness or wellness, but they're just okay. Okay. The problem with just being okay is that if you don't come on calls like this, if you don't take action to be better than okay, then you wait for illness. That means you're reactive to illness rather than being proactive to wellness. Now, how do you become proactive to wellness? You go on this top arrow, which says wellness paradigm. Where most people circulate is in this bottom one, treatment paradigm. Now, treatment paradigm, there's always, that's going to the doctors, that's going to the pharmacist, that's going to the hospital. That's a vicious circle that keeps going round and round and round until we're gone. Now, what we're saying to you is if you want to avoid that vicious circle, which there's a place in life. I have many friends who are doctors, who are in science, and they have a job, but you are overloading them with unnecessary jobs that are life-related diseases, and we need to stop doing that. Okay, so I just want to let you know this. I'm going to take you through the wellness paradigm, yeah, so that you know that that's where we are. Okay, so some of you are known in Nigeria and in Africa, we cook food. Oh man, fat, 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 fat. Now, can you see what you can see here? Can you see the artery of a nice new artery, nice artery? But look what's restricting it. The plaque that's building up. Look at that. Now, what could be causing this? Now, a lot of people say to me, Tony, are you saying I shouldn't have any oil in my food, or I shouldn't have fat? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying we have to be responsible. We have to know what's causing the lifestyle disease that we're having, or we might have, or that might be on the way. Some of you don't realize some things are on the way. You might be okay, but there's some things might be on the way. Now, we have to be responsible. We have to find out what's causing the problem, and then we have to take action. Now, taking action doesn't mean you eliminate it necessarily completely, but it means that you understand it and you take it in moderation, or you don't take it at all. Now, fats, the body needs essential fats, so don't get me wrong, yeah? But it doesn't need bad fats. Now, where do bad fats come from? Look at your food. Saturated fats are not good for us, are they? Yeah? Saturated fats are not good for us. Trans fats are not good for us. Where do we get trans fats from? Those of you that cook your oil, you cook your plantain. When you cook your plantain, yeah, what temperature do you put the oil at? You don't put it at room temperature. Most oils, when we talk about whether they're good or bad, we talk about them at room temperature. But when you apply high heat, which exceeds the temperature which we call the smoking point, it turns from a good fat to a bad fat. And that's where we have this issue at the top here. Now we're going to go through this more. Now, did you know that 1 tablespoon of oil is actually 18 grams of fat, which is 163 calories. When you think about the daily recommended calorie intake is roughly around, on average, around about 2,000 calories. Now, can you imagine how many tablespoons of oil do you fry your plantain in? How many tablespoons of oil do you fry your chicken in? And how many calories do you think you're adding to those things? Okay, so just quickly moving on. Now we get to the juicy part, which is, let's start talking about the heart. Now, Hero mentions some stats, and I thought, wow, has he been reading my script? Now, the first thing is, I don't need to tell you, the heart is critical, it plays a critical role in our life. It's, as it says here, number 1, vital organ. It is a remarkable muscular organ responsible for what? Pumping life-sustaining blood throughout the body. Now, when we're talking about oxygen, when we're talking about nutrients, yeah, and removing waste, this is the number 1 organ for it. Okay, it also has workload. This thing doesn't stop. You know, when your heart stops, you stop. When your heart stops, you're literally stopped. So now, continuous workload that we put on our heart, it works tirelessly, beating approximately 100 times per day. And look how many liters it's pumping. What on earth? Pumping 7,500 liters of blood throughout the body. Wow, that's a lot. Also, the second thing that you have is also emotional, isn't it? You know, when we talk about love, we talk about the heart. Courage, we talk about the heart. Emotion, we talk about the heart. Yeah. So this is where we are. So the heart plays a critical role as pumping this blood around our body so that we can get vital nutrients, we can get oxygen, it helps in terms of removal of waste too. So that's number 1. Okay, so just moving on from there. Okay, so now moving on. What are the lifestyle diseases that impact our heart health? So some of you will hear high blood pressure and hypertension is one, isn't it? Yeah, so anyone that has high blood pressure or hypertension, it's a major risk factor for heart disease. Yeah, you put excess strain on your heart and blood vessels. That means you increase the likelihood of a heart attack and strokes and other cardiovascular complications. High cholesterol, you hear that a lot in Nigeria. Yeah. Obviously, you've got elevated levels of cholesterol. The LDL cholesterol, which is the baddie, yeah, can lead to building up plaque. You remember those arteries I showed you earlier? It builds up plaque around those arteries, yeah? And therefore restricting the flow of blood and increasing the risk of heart disease and stroke. Obesity, if you're obese, that's also closely linked to these health issues, including heart disease. Excess weight you have puts a strain on the heart, increasing the risk of high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and even type 2 diabetes. So these are some of the diseases that impact on your heart. But what are the other ones? The other ones, yeah? Now, you see, the burden of heart-related diseases in Africa and the Caribbean, we have our socio-economic factors, yeah? That means that access to healthcare, yeah? Sometimes we might not have, or it might be too expensive to access healthcare. Nutritious food, maybe we're not getting good nutritious food. I know as a nutritionist, one of the things we talk about is nutrition. But one of the things that as a nutritionist, most of my nutritionist colleagues don't talk about is you can have the food that has good nutrition, but are you keeping that nutrition in the food? And that's why you need to see a salad master presentation. Yeah, you've got a safe environment, physical activity. So you need to have a safe environment for physical activity because that plays a role. Physical activity plays a role. And the other thing, cultural influence. You know, high fat, you know, we like our plantain. You know, one of the things I say to a lot of people is, look, you have your plantain. Guess what? What you do with your plantain? You're frying it in what? Oil. High heat oil. Possibly trans fats, isn't it? You have your jollof rice. What are you doing with that? You're frying it in oil. High heat. Yeah. Possibly trans fats again. You then have your chicken. What are you doing? Frying it in oil. Yeah. Then you have your soup. What are you doing? Frying it in oil. Is it no wonder that now in Nigeria, in Africa, in the Caribbean community, we're having big issues with heart disease? Yeah. Not only that, you have high sodium in food. Guess what? When you cook all these foods, you combine them. You combine them. So you combine all the fat, you combine all the sodium. And then what happens? You get a you increase the risk of developing heart-related conditions. Yeah. And guess what? You might have a little bit of salad on the side, just because you know salad is good. Okay, we have genetic disposition, yeah, where we have where you can have descendants that might have high risk of conditions like hypertension, diabetes, and heart disease. One of the things that I am very strong about with this genetic predisposition, you see, I'm not too much of a fan of that, you know, and the reason why I'm not too much of a fan is because, you know, what we tend to inherit usually is the food that we eat. And what we tend to inherit is how our parents cook the food. And therefore we move away. And if that food is linked to some of these lifestyle diseases and the way it's cooked is linked, then when we move away from home, it's our food that we're eating and how we cook it that could be what we're talking about when we're talking about genetics too. Yeah, disposition. Okay, so that's just a little me ranting on. Okay, so just want to move on. High blood pressure. Remember, we talk about this related to heart disease, high blood pressure, and the heart. Now, what happens is you put increased workload, yeah, on the heart, don't you? You're forcing the heart to work harder when you have high blood pressure. Yeah, you're forcing that heart to work hard when you have high blood pressure throughout the body, leading to thickening and stiffening of your heart muscle over time. You have, yeah, arterial damage, which increases the pressure that can damage the inner lining of your arteries, leading to what? Buildup of plaque and narrowing of the arteries. And what does that mean? Obviously, restricting the blood flow. And what happens? Increasing the risk of heart attack and stroke. Now, if the blood is not going through, what's not going through also? Nutrients, isn't it? What's not going through also? Oxygen. So you can see the massive issue when you're not eating right and when you're not having the right type of diet. Heart failure also happens with high blood pressure, doesn't it? When the heart is unable to pump effectively due to increased workload, yeah, and damage, artery damage, it leads to what? Heart failure and serious conditions. So these are some of the things that high blood pressure is linked to heart disease or an unhealthy heart. And obviously, these are some of the points that you need to look at. So what's the next thing? Cholesterol. The link between cholesterol. Some of you may go to the doctor and they may say, oh, you've got cholesterol issues. What is the link? The link between them. Now, the LDL cholesterol, which is the bad cholesterol. You know, we have HDL cholesterol and we have LDL cholesterol. The LDL cholesterol, which is the baddie, contributes to the buildup of plaque in the arteries. Yeah, you can see that diagram there. And when you have plaque building up in the arteries, what happens? Yeah, it narrows the arteries, doesn't it? And hardens the arteries and restricts the blood from flowing. You have blood clots and formation. Blood clot formation, yeah, which is the buildup. The plaque buildup can rupture, causing blood clots. So you have that eventually, that's the problem. We also have increased risk of heart disease, which is high cholesterol levels, particularly when combined with other risks like high blood pressure and obesity, significantly increase the risk of developing heart disease. Yeah? So these are, and obviously including coronary arteries disease and heart attacks. So that's your link between high cholesterol and your heart health. So the other one, heart disease and its impact. Obviously, we talked about the coronary artery disease, and this is caused by buildup of plaque. You see that plaque is coming, reoccurring all the time. That supplies the blood to the heart muscle. This can lead to chest pains. Some of you might have chest pains, don't ignore them. Shortness of breath and potentially a heart attack. Then you have the heart failure. Heart failure occurs when the heart is unable to pump the blood effectively through the body. It can be caused by various factors, including coronary artery disease, high blood pressure, and other conditions. Yeah, yeah. So you also have, some of you may have irregular heartbeats. Yeah, that can be too slow, too fast, or erratic. And obviously, this symptoms can be an underlying effect of heart disease and other conditions. Yeah. So these are some of the things that we need to understand. So when we talk about the heart, there are so many factors that have impact on your heart. So when you're talking about the heart, you can't talk just about the heart. You have to talk about high blood pressure. You have to talk about cholesterol. You have to talk about obesity, even diabetes, and other things. Look, other related ones. Look, other lifestyle diseases that you have. Diabetes. Look at it. Diabetes. Some of you might have type 2 diabetes. And type 2 diabetes is closely linked to an increase in risk of heart disease. Yeah. High blood sugar levels can damage blood vessels and contribute to the buildup of plaque in the arteries, leading to cardiovascular complications. So even as a diabetic, if you don't take care of the diabetes, then that could then lead to your sugar levels increasing, which can damage your blood vessels. Obesity, additional strain on the heart, because you're additional strain on the heart, yeah, which leads to conditions like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, type 2 diabetes. Yeah? Sedentary lifestyle, lack of exercise. We need to exercise. As a country, we need to exercise. You need to come out of your air-conditioned car and take a walk. Yeah. Sometimes the conditions, sometimes in Africa, we leave our air-conditioned house, we jump into our air-conditioned car, we jump into our air-conditioned office. We need to stop that. We need to start living. Yeah. Life is for living. So we need to start exercising also so that we can actually reduce the risk of heart disease too. Okay? So just moving on. Some of you will be on these medications, different types of medications, as you can see here. You know, you've got your AC inhibitors, you know, you've got your blockers. These are some of the medication that you're on. Yeah, calcium channel blockers, beta blockers. You know what I say to you is, as a nutritionist, you're only using all these inhibitors and blockers because you're not taking care of what you eat. Now, you are what you eat, unless you want to be, you know, there's something that we say, either, so I'm trying to allow people to come in, either make your food as, sorry, I'm just taking the waiting list off. Okay, so either eat your food as medicine. Yeah, so I say, yeah, that's right. Either eat your food as medicine, or you eat your medicine as food. Some people today are eating medicine as food. And what do I mean by they're eating medicine as food? Now, how many meals a day do you take? You take 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Some of you are taking more than 3 medications. 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, 1 in the evening. So that's dangerous. That's dangerous. So really, I think you see, a lot of this medication doesn't cure the problem. What it does is it actually masks the problem. Whereas when you hit the nerve of the problem, that means you're dealing with the problem properly. Yeah. So it means that, in my view, is sometimes the medication allows you to do the things that you're not meant to do. Yeah. Because the medication will help suppress the condition. That means I'll give you a scenario. You have pain in the body. Maybe somebody might be in an accident. They have pain in the body. But guess what they do? They take painkillers. Has it solved the pain in the body? No, it's just masked it. When those painkillers wear off, what happens? The pain comes back. So what do? You take more pain. Now you've got to make a decision. Are you here to now solve the problem by taking responsibility that you are what you eat? That's what you've got to make a decision on. I am not against medicine. I'm not against medication. I think they have a place in life, but they're not supposed to be permanent. They're supposed to be temporary while you fix your problem. But some of us are not fixing the problem, and we're hoping the medication fix the problem. It's not going to fix the problem. Yeah, it's your food. You cannot carry on doing the wrong thing and expect to get the right results. Okay, so common medications. Those of you with cholesterol, you know the statins, yeah, and you know what it does to your blood and so on. And you also all these different medications, and I'm just showing you them because I just want to make sure some of you might spot some things that you're on. Yeah, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to be talking too much about these things. Okay? Common medication for heart disease. Yeah, as you can see there, there's a number of them. I'm not too much of a fan of any of them, but at least you might see your medication here. Now, guess what I'm going to do for you as a nutritionist? I'm going to replace, hopefully, most of these with food. And I'm going to hopefully work with your doctor, work with your health professional, and your doctor, not me, will tell you to come off your medication based on the fact that you have solved the root cause of the problem by eating the right food at the right time. That's that. Okay. So now foods to avoid. If you're in this problem, foods to avoid. So if you're having high sodium, high blood pressure. Now, I can't say more than this, but high blood pressure for us as African and Caribbean, I don't think you're aware that that salt, for example, is not a good thing for us. Excess salt, especially. Excess salt, not necessarily salt, excess salt is not good. And the reason why it's not a good thing for us is because our bodies are different from the white Caucasians' bodies. The way our bodies are built are different. The way we process nutrients are different. And I'll give you an example. If you go to the same restaurant with your colleague who might be from Europe, from England, a white colleague, white Caucasian, and you eat the same food with excess salt in it, and you have excess salt in your body, and he has excess salt in his body, or she has excess salt in her body, do you know what happens? In her case, in their case, do you know what happens? They sweat the excess salt outside. They sweat it out. That's how they get it out their body. They sweat it out. It's a natural mechanism that happens with the white Caucasian. But do you know what we do? It goes into our what? It goes into our kidneys, yeah, liver. And guess what happens? It then attracts water, which now increases our blood volume, which if you have high blood pressure, is now going to take your blood pressure higher. So one of the things that we'll say is excess sodium causes your body to retain and increase your blood pressure. Yeah. Examples include processed meats, canned foods, salty snacks. Fatty foods, saturated and trans fats can clog arteries, leading to increased blood pressure found in fried foods, fried plantain, fried jollof rice, fried chicken, and you combine them together, guess what? That's what we have here. Sugary foods and drinks, high sugar intake can lead to weight gain, a risk factor for hypertension. Common sources are soda, candies, baked goods. Alcohol, those of you that like your alcohol. Alcohol is also excess consumption can lead to heart and artery raising blood sugar. Now, why are these foods harmful? Sodium overload that can strain and damage arteries, including stiffening and narrowing, which increases your blood pressure. Bad foods lead to plaque building up in arteries, yeah, limiting blood flow and raising blood pressure. Sugary food impact contributes to obesity, a major risk factor of hypertension. Alcohol effects can temporarily raise blood pressure and contribute to long-term heart issues. Avoiding or limiting these types of food and drinks is crucial for managing blood pressure and reducing the risk factor for hypertension related to complication. But look, one of the things I say to a lot of people, when they come to me, you know, one of the things that people don't understand, and this is one of the reasons why people think, okay, they say I shouldn't have this, I shouldn't have that, I should eat this, I should eat more of this. One of the things that I always say to people is, when you want to solve a problem that's linked to your heart or linked to any lifestyle disease like hypertension, the first thing you need to do is you need to talk to a nutritionist, you need to talk to a dietitian, you need to talk to a doctor. And you need to say, first thing, from a nutritionist point of view, what are you eating right now that could be causing this problem? Some people just focus on what they need to eat to solve the problem, but you can't solve the problem without stopping the problem, stopping what you're eating that's causing the problem. So this is the first thing you need to do. Look at foods that you're not, if any of them are on your list, let's say. Foods to reduce for hypertension risks, similar things. So foods to reduce the hypertension risks, yeah? So looking at beneficial foods for lowering blood pressure. Now, these are beneficial foods now. So we're talking about berries, yeah, banana. I know we have lots of banana. Orange in Nigeria, we have orange, we have melons, yeah. Vegetables, your leafy green vegetables, your spinach, your kale, your carrots, your sweet potato, yeah. Whole grain foods, your oats, your brown rice, and so on. Lean proteins, your fish, your skinny proteins and beans and lentils. Nutritional components that help manage pressure, like potassium, helps balance the amount of sodium in your cells, reducing blood pressure, found in bananas, oranges, potatoes. You have magnesium that helps regulate your blood pressure, found in nuts, seeds, whole grains, and leafy green vegetables. You have your fiber, helps reduce blood pressure and improves overall heart health, found in fruits, vegetables, and grains. Fiber is a very important one. Fiber, you know, fiber is it's a power food. It's one of those things that it's one of the things that we need certain foods for, and fiber is something that we don't have enough of, because fiber helps if you have excess cholesterol, it helps get rid of the excess cholesterol. It helps get rid of excess toxins. Yeah, it does so many. It helps regulate the blood sugar level, you know, and all these things. But we don't take enough of it. And guess what? You can only get your fiber from where? You can't get it from meat. So don't tell me you can get it from meat. You can't get it from meat. You get it from your vegetables. You get it from your beans and so on. Okay? I've mentioned this already, so I'll just reiterate. So healthy foods are fruits and vegetables. Yeah, they're packed with antioxidants, fiber, and essential vitamins and minerals to support heart health. Yeah, aim for a rainbow color, I'd say, including leafy greens, berries, and citrus fruits. Whole grains, yeah, whole grains such as oats, quinoa, brown rice, not white rice. So we're fond of white rice. Look, try and do your jollof rice with brown rice. Jollof rice is just color, isn't it? Really, it's the red color, isn't it? You get your red color, put it in the brown rice, and you have jollof rice. If you have a problem doing your jollof rice, if you don't know how to do it, or it doesn't come out right, speak to Chef Jessica, speak to Chef Rose, speak to some of the chef that you have that's linked to that can actually show you how to cook brown rice right so that it can taste like your normal jollof rice. But the benefit is you're getting fiber, aren't you, from your brown rice, and you're not getting that sugary stuff coming from white rice. So this can help you lower your cholesterol levels and reduce the risk of heart disease. Lean proteins, fish, you know, and so on. So these are things that you can actually have. The excellent source of nutrients that support heart health, and also without adding saturated fats found in red and processed meat. We don't want the saturated fat that we find in red meats and also processed meats. So these are the things. Okay. This is just like a repeat of what we've seen. Obviously, we have spinach in Nigeria, I know that. So sometimes you might not get some of these things in Nigeria, but don't worry, you can always find an alternative in Nigeria. So spinach is what we'll find. Kale, we might not find as much in Nigeria. These are powerhouses. So that's what we have for that, okay? So spinach, kale, Swiss chard. So this is just showing you all the different ones. Obviously, it has, apart from helping your heart, it helps, some of them help your eyes and so on. So the berries we talked about already, strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, they're full of antioxidants, and they will help you also. Some of you need to regulate your blood sugar level, because remember, if you have diabetes, that can affect your heart also, a healthy heart and so on, so that you have all those things. So yeah, we talked about seeds before, chia seeds, almond seeds, flax seeds. These are amazing. These are powerful. These are tiny titans of nutrients. So here we have, so you can see with chia seeds, you've got your omega-3 fatty acids, and they, for your brain, it's great for your brain. You have your almond, which is good for your heart also, but also has vitamin E, which protects your UV light damage and Alzheimer's. And you have flax seeds, loaded with nutrients such as fiber, omega-3 and so on. So these are some of the things that you need. Remember, what we're trying to do is turn your food into your medicine. So we're trying to get you to eat your food as medicine, yeah, rather than eat your medicine as food. Okay. Okay, so you got your whole grains. We talked about the whole grains. Some of you have seen these whole grains before. Like I said, experiment. Look at that. Yeah, you got your gluten-free, high in fiber, high in protein, and contains 9 essential amino acids. Oats, comforting superfoods. Yeah, they reduces cholesterol and heart disease. Oats, can you imagine that? Just that oats will help you. Yeah, and also it has antioxidants that contribute to overall vitality and decrease the blood pressure. Brown rice, not white rice. Brown rice is heart healthy grains with phytonutrients like B vitamins, magnesium, selenium. Yeah, very important. It promotes fullness. You know, when you have enough fiber, it fills you up quicker. The reason why some of you are having to eat a lot of food is because you don't have a lot of nutrients in the food. So you have to eat masses of food just to get the body satisfied with the nutrients. Yeah. So some of you might say, I can't lose weight. I try everything, because what you're doing is you're eating food that has very little nutrients in it. How about trying to eat food with more nutrients, more fiber, and feel that full factor? Now, those of you that haven't seen the Salad Master presentation by the person that invited you on here, I recommend it. As a nutritionist, I use Salad Master. And the reason why I use Salad Master is because I don't just want the nutrition. I don't want just the food that has nutrition. I want to retain that nutrition in the food. So therefore, I don't have to eat as much as, because the food, the body gets the nutrients required. Okay, that's whole grain. Okay. Omega-3 champions, fish. These are the fish champions: salmon, mackerel, sardines, trouts. Yeah. Salmon reduces inflammation. Yeah. Improves your mental health, supports heart health. And then you've got your mackerel, rich in vitamin D, selenium for immune system support. Sardines deliver high quality protein, calciums for your bone health and iron. And then you've got your trout, which contains B vitamins and energy and omega-3 fatty acids. So those are your champions for fish. Spices, we have these real champions of spices. Turmeric. I can't say more about turmeric. It has it basically is powerful anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. And it helps in terms of some people that might have arthritis, improves your brain functions. Ginger. Yep, that's another one. Fantastic. We have cinnamon. Yeah, that's very good also. And it's actually linked with blood pressure control. And those are things, these are some of the spices that you have also. Okay. Exercise, I can't say enough about exercise. You need to exercise. Yeah, you have the different types of exercise. You can have aerobic exercise, and like, for example, brisk walking, cycling, swimming. These things can strengthen the heart and improve circulation. Aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity of aerobic exercises, or 75 minutes of vigorous ones. Strength training, incorporated strength training exercises like weightlifting, resistant bands can help build and maintain your muscle mass, which can improve your metabolism and support the overall cardiovascular health. Then you have your flexibility and balance exercise that improves your flexibility and balance, such as yoga, tai chi, and can reduce risk, improve posture, and help prevent fails, which can help, particularly beneficial it's beneficial for adults, older adults especially. Okay, so just moving on. Now, normally I have a program which says stop living, feeding, and sleeping with your enemy. Now, nobody consciously lives, feeds, and sleeps with their enemy, but unconsciously, a lot of us are doing that. Do you know that today there are some people that have lifestyle diseases, and do you know that their car is more healthy than themselves? Do you know that the priority that they to make sure that their car is healthy, the lengths they go to make sure their car is healthy, yeah, is amazing. But they're ending up with lifestyle diseases and they're ill, but their car is not ill. Now, which one has the most priority? Which one should be first? Should it be your health or your car? I just don't believe it. I see people with fantastic cars in Nigeria, in Ghana, in Africa, in the UK, but their health is suffering. How long is the car going to last you for? Look, we need to understand one thing. If you have a lifestyle disease or an illness and you don't take care of it, you know what happens? It gets worse. And when it gets worse, guess what happens? It now takes over the body. So when you create an environment, a lot of us create an environment inside our body that allows these lifestyle diseases to prosper, to grow. Now, when you have an environment in your body where the lifestyle disease is growing and growing, for example, you might have high blood pressure, and your body is suitable for high blood pressure because you're eating the kind of food that high blood pressure needs. So it's eating your food, it's enjoying your food, it's getting stronger. Eventually it takes over the body because it's so strong, because you're feeding it the food it likes. And guess what happens? When it takes over your body, you know what it does now? It will now decide it wants to have a party inside your body. Maybe it's its first anniversary in your body and it's going to celebrate its first birthday. And you know when it has its birthday in your body, its party in your body, you know what it does? Just like when you have a party, what do? You invite your friends. So high blood pressure will invite its friends. Who is its friends? It could be cholesterol, it could be diabetes, it could be kidney failure, it could be all kinds of things. They invite them into the body, and guess what happens? Together they have a party in the body. So if one can't bring you down, two might bring you down. So what I'm saying to you here is we've got to understand the power of your food. We've got to understand that if we have a lifestyle disease, and that lifestyle disease is staying in our body for months, for years, that means we're feeding it. The approach we have is we are talking about starving the disease. First, avoiding the foods that the disease likes. Then we're talking about feeding the body with nutrients that could make the immune system strong, the body strong to fight that disease also. Now, when you starve a disease and the disease is getting weak, and now you're feeding your body with food that is making your body strong, which is now fighting the disease again, when you starve a disease, the disease will die. And guess what? You get your body back. And not only that, you create an environment where that disease cannot return. Yeah. So many times I hear some people that have cancer, that have all kinds of things, and they have operations, and then suddenly they say the cancer's come back. You know, you've got to understand one thing. There's no quick fix to some of these things. It's a permanent fix that you need. Now, that could be that you have cancer, you're still created an environment for the cancer to live. So when you have the operation, take the cancer out, guess what? The environment is still there, so it can grow again. What we're talking about is not making sure that environment is not there. And that's where you talk about your food and now starving that. So just to give you an example, I want you to listen to this she looks very young. She's one of my clients. She had a situation, and that situation was she had high blood pressure, and the blood pressure was so high that they wanted to give her additional medication. And this is one of the things I smile about. It's when somebody has high blood pressure and it's just like new that you get a medication. Guess what happens? Because you are still eating the same food and you're still doing the same things that cause the high blood pressure, do you know what happens? The blood pressure gets worse. It gets stronger, doesn't it? Because you're eating the same food, you're still drinking the same drink. And guess what happens? Your blood pressure, that pill that they're giving you to take is no longer effective. So do you know what they do? They give you another dose or a different pill, isn't it? So you just keep on adding to the tablets. But it keeps carrying on. Some people will take 8 tablets a day, 10 tablets a day. Why? Because you're still doing the wrong thing. You're still eating the wrong thing. You're still eating things that are not right for you. But you're using medication to suppress the fact that you're doing the wrong thing. Okay? So I want you to listen to her very carefully. It's only a short video, so don't worry. It's only a short one.
Good afternoon, Madam Maduka. You have just become our completer of the 30-day Health Restore program. Yeah. So share with us what kind of experience it was and how you're going to continue this healthy lifestyle that you've so enjoyed engaging in.
I'm excited about this program. At first, when I got the idea, it was like, can I do without meat? And throughout my life, I can't remember taking a decision that says eat without animal protein. But when I saw this idea and I learned that it's going to restore my health, I got interested in it. And so I embarked on the journey. Sharon told me no cheating. And I said, yes, no cheating. And we went through the journey and I completed it without cheating. It's so exciting. While going through the journey, I realized that my BP that could not be stable at 130 became stable at 120. I'm excited about this program and I intend to continue. So, I have taken a decision. I'm going to print out all the menus that were sent to me. I'll pin them in my kitchen. Everybody that cares to cook for me should look at the recipes and prepare my meal. Thank you so, so much, Salad Master.
It's been a pleasure working with you, Madam Maduka. I've had such fun talking to you about your journey, and I'm happy that you completed the program and you're looking wonderfully healthy.
Everybody says so.
Wow.
Somebody said to me today, you are glowing. I said, thanks to Salad Master.
Fantastic, fantastic. Okay, thank you very much. All the best for the future.
Thank you.
Okay, just to show you that that video was for one of our customers who had high blood pressure, and they were about to put her on more medication. She decided enough is enough. I need to sort the problem out permanently, and therefore she decided to come on a program, which was a 30-day program, and she had to. We said you can do it with meat if you want, but it's slower than 30 days. But if you want quick results, then you want to eliminate the things that could be causing the problems. Okay, so prevention strategies: balanced diet, whole grains, fruits, vegetables, and so on. Limit your sodium. Healthy fats include sources like avocado, nuts, and olive oil. Yeah, but not olive oil heated up, by the way. This is like having it on a salad or something like that. Hydration, adequate water. You need to be drinking adequate water to maintain your healthy blood pressure. Regular exercise. Exercise lowers your blood pressure, strengthens the heart, and manages weight. Activity recommendations, I've said that already. Stress management, impact on stress. Yeah, chronic stress can contribute to high blood pressure. Relaxing techniques, practice mindful meditation, so on. Lifestyle adjustments, adjust your sleep. Now, sleep also can affect your blood pressure. We have a program, that's why we have a program on sleep, where sleep can affect your blood pressure. Yeah, and we can tell you more about that when you join that. Okay. Some of you are increasing your blood pressure. You know how? You've got toxic cookware, some of you. So you need to do a test. Whoever invited you on this call, ask them to come and test your cookware. Yeah. Now, I don't know whether you bought cookware so that you can eat the cookware. I don't think so. I think you bought cookware so that the food can cook, so that the pot can cook the food so that you can eat the food. But what if you found out that apart from eating the food, you're eating the cookware? What if you found out that the taste of your food is affected by the cookware? What if you found out that because the cookware doesn't taste nice when it combines with your food, you're having to add excess salt and excess seasoning to your cooking to make up for the distorted taste that the cookware is giving your food? Please take note. Get your cookware tested and make sure that you're not eating your cookware with your food. Okay? Now, I'm finishing off now. So one of the things I would say to you is I want you all to be happy. And when I say happy, what I mean is I want you to increase your health span during your lifespan. There's no point saying you want to live long if you're not living healthy and long. I'll give you two scenarios. My dad is 93 years old right now. Yeah, 93 years old. And just a few months ago, I went to my dad's house and I saw a bicycle in his house. So I said, Dad, why you got the bicycle in this house? Whose bicycle? He said, it's mine. I said, what do you mean it's your bicycle? He said, oh, I took my car to the mechanic and they said it would take a whole day to repair it. When I was at the bus stop, waiting for the bus too long, I decided to cross the road, buy the bike, and ride the bike home 5 miles from where they are. 93 years old, and he's fit as a fiddle. He has had very little health challenges at all. Yeah, he's from the time we were young, he was asking us to eat brown bread, not white bread. He was asking us to eat brown sugar, not white sugar. Yeah, he was already helping us at an early age. He knew something that we didn't know. Now, he's been healthy for 93 years, I would say. But guess what? I know someone also that's 90 years old. But unfortunately, yeah, he has been on medication since the time he was 50. And the medication has increased year in, year out, such that he has to take a bag of medication with him when he goes out. Now, is that living? I say life is for living. So life is for living means that you need to start appreciating food plays a major role in your health. Just because the food tastes nice doesn't mean you need to destroy your health. You can have food that tastes nice that can improve your health. You just need to have the right tools, the right cooking techniques, and the right advice to be able to still enjoy your food as medicine rather than your medicine as food. So that's me. Okay, so I think on that note, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just open up, let me just give back the floor to Hero. Thank you very much for coming on the show, and I'm going to hand over to Hero in a minute. I think all these things, can I find him? Let me just type his name in so that I can find him faster. Yeah, I can find him now. I'll give you administration rights, make host. Okay, so Hero, you're over to you. You're now the host. Take over.
Great. Thank you so much, Mr. Tony. Thank you. So guys, please, if there's any question, please go to the chat box and drop your questions. And also, let's have some, let's just give Mr. Tony some good accolades on the chat box. He has really done wonderfully well to this topic about the heart. Important that we take note of most of the things he's saying here today. You know why it's important? You know, most times we say we don't have time. We say we are busy. We are busy. You know, some of the food he has been mentioning here today, most of us have no time to eat them. We say we don't have time. So we eat more of carbonated drinks, you know, ready-made food. We don't really pay attention to what is important. But like he said, a time will come when you have to be carrying medication wherever you're going, and that is not a life you deserve for anybody. Now think about it. If the heart is like the car, if the body is like the car and the heart is like the engine of the car, imagine using your car for 10, 20, 30 years without servicing it. What do you think is going to happen to that? It's normal for the car to deteriorate. It is normal for the car to have to stop working. Now, the heart is more complex than the engine of your luxurious car. Now, if the heart is not serviced, if the heart is strained, if the heart is being stressed more than it can take, of course, there's bound to be, breakdown. And some of these things we are talking about are linked up to the same source. One of the things he mentioned here today is that diabetes, cancer, high blood pressure can actually do 1 year, 2 years anniversary in your body. And when they are coming for party, they are not going to come alone. They are going to come with their friends. That is why if you see one suffering from high blood pressure, there's a tendency for them to have diabetes. If somebody is suffering from diabetes, there's a tendency to have high cholesterol because all of them work together. So what we are saying here today is that we have to start taking care of the things that we can afford to lose. You can't afford to lose your heart. Heart is a sign of love, a sign of life. If the heart is not working, nothing is working. So, Mr. Tony, thank you so much for being on this call today. I don't think there's any question here. Let me see. No questions so far. Okay, so all we are getting is thank you so much, Mr. Tony, for all the information you shared. The presentation is so educating and enriching. Thank you so much, madam. All right, so let's have feedback on this.
Here, one other thing I'll say to you is that thank you for summarizing what I said. Yeah, And I say to everybody on this call, is look, you are very, very important. Yeah. You need to understand one thing. You need to understand one thing, is that there's nothing in this world more important than you. Yeah. No car, no house, no project. The problem we have in our community is we spend more time like on our car, on our building of our house, and we spend less time building our bodies. You see, what we have to understand is we're built for 3 digits. When I say 3 digits, we're built to say we're 100 and we're 101. Some of you are jumping up and down and saying you're 70 as if you've lived. Yeah, you haven't lived yet. 70 should be the beginning of your life. Yeah, not the end of your life. 100, I was watching TV today. Somebody is 112 years old. 112 years old. That person is living. Yeah. So please don't think because you're 70 that you're old. You're not old. You're young. Whatever you say to yourself is what you are. And please don't be a prisoner of food. Don't let food put you in prison. When I say prison, that means illness. That means dependent on medication. That means being in pain on a daily basis. Every time you drive that luxury car, that you have a lifestyle disease, you're not driving the car, you're driving the disease. Yeah, that's what you're doing. Okay, so yeah, so that's it. So Hero, anything else?
Yeah, somebody's asking if coconut is good for the heart. What do you have to say about that?
Well, coconut. Coconut oil is one of the, it's quite deadly, to be honest with you sometimes. Coconut oil is, what I would say is let's use coconut oil, what it was originally made for, which is to grease our body. Yeah. Coconut oil is good to moisture the body. Yeah. It's high in cholesterol. It's not good for your cholesterol. Yeah. Let's use it to grease the body. Yeah. There are certain oils. I mean, you can have let me ask you a question. When you have coconut oil, yeah, when it goes down to room temperature, when it goes down, what does it do? What does it do? Does it not go solid? Doesn't coconut oil go solid after a period of time? Yeah. So yes, there are studies that show coconut oil is okay. But if you have cholesterol issues, if you have high blood pressure issues, then I would avoid coconut oil. But if you don't have those issues, then obviously you can dabble with it. Yeah. So I think one of the things is if you can avoid the oils, especially when you heat them at high temperature, because you've got to be careful. It's the high temperature that changes the oil from a good fat to a bad fat. So I can't tell you coconut oil is good. You need to say, what are you using it for? And how high the temperature you're heating it is that will cause it. But what I'll say to everybody on this call is some of these oils you don't need. Yeah, that's what I would say. Okay, here, over to you.
Okay, sir. So he actually was talking about coconut itself, not the oil.
Oh, coconut. Okay, yeah, coconut. Yeah, coconut's good. Coconut's good. Coconut's good. Yeah. Sorry, I always go talk a bit about coconut oil. Okay.
All right, guys. So thank you so much, everybody, for being on this call today. So in summary, all we are saying is that we are here to support. Most of the information we have shared here today, some of you think you've known it before, but it's the action that matters. If you don't take action, I met one of my clients last month. He said that he's going to insure his car for 8 million, and he has only 3 days to do that insurance. Now, that insurance he's doing for his car is when event happens. That is when he can reap the benefits. If he drives the car for 1 year and nothing happens, it's gone. But this guy is cautious enough to secure a car, to insure a car, for 8 million. That is how much people are investing to make sure that a car. Now, if you have to drive a car that you have to insure for 8 million, I want to think about how much that car was bought. For you to drive that car, you must work more than that car. All right, because it's a tool to serve you. You're not supposed to serve the car. So the reason why we're making emphasis on this is that Africans, we don't pay attention to information. We don't read, we don't research, and we don't implement. And if we can implement a quarter of what we have been taught here today, our lives are going to change. You may not know the effect now, but in the next 30 years, it will matter the foundation you are setting up. So we're here to support you. Heal Yourself Africa is here to support you. If you have problems with getting some of this food mentioned, please reach out to us. If you have a problem with the chefs, please reach out to us. If you need more information, please contact the person that invited you on this call. The reason why we exist as an institution is to assist you, make sure that those things that you find difficult on your own can actually be done with the support of our system we have already set up. So on that note, in the absence of any other question, we're going to be closing down the curtain tonight. Thank you once again, Mr. Tony, for honoring this call all the way from UK. We don't take it for granted, and we believe that the ones on this call today, they are going to, act on this information and have a change. If you want to get a record of this, you can also follow us on our YouTube channel, Heal Yourself Africa, to have a replay. You need to listen to this and listen to it again and again to sink even deeper. So thank you so much, everyone, for being on this call today. And on that note, we are going to call it a night. Thank you, and have a wonderful night rest. Thank you.
Thank you.
You can unmute yourself. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone.
All right.